Games created by developer 237 is something that this channel has covered, and if the name does not sound familiar, then I recommend watching these two videos as it covers the first two games that developer 237 created. Developer 237 is known for being anonymous, and to this day, there's little information about this person. In order to find information about this individual, then research is needed. Ever since the release of Xenophobia, developer 237 went through a 12-year disappearance. But before we go into that, let's talk about developer 237's previous works. Dymnophobia and Xenophobia were released onto a 4chan forum named Ryona to Ita. There is a video on YouTube that goes into the lore of developer 237 and states that developer 237 is not his actual username, but instead the Window Man. In the English translated version of Xenophobia, it was revealed through the key text files that Xenophobia was created by the Window people. However, in the original Japanese version, the Japanese word actually translates more accurately to the Window Man. Through this finding, it is revealed that developer 237 is a man. In addition, it is presumed that developer 237 is Japanese since his Twitter account was also found, and the location said that he was located in Mino, a province in Japan. Furthermore, the number 237 is a response number in the Ryona to Ita forum. The name developer 237 can be unveiled as the incorrect name for the creator behind Dysthanasia and Xenophobia. In conclusion, the real and correct username is instead the Window Man, and this will be important later on in the video. What if I told you that there is a third game that the Window Man is currently making? That game being dysthanasia. Since his disappearance after creating Xenophobia, the Window Man made his return. In December of 2021, a man appeared on an obscure Japanese website called CN. This is where he announced his new game and revealed his identity as 237 through unseen development photos of his last game, Xenophobia. Since then, he's been semi-active and continued to post in Japanese every few months. Now he goes by a different name, but it is similar to his old one, Window Frame. Dysthanasia can be played through a Japanese website and is currently in the demo phase. Usually these websites harbor obscure games made by Japanese indie developers, many of the games falling into the Ryona and Guro genre. It is important to know what these two words mean and what they contain for a game. The word Ryona is a term used to describe a character, usually a woman, subjected to abuse. This is not the only definition for the term, as there are many other definitions out there that go more into detail about who/what abuses the female character and the type of violence she is faced with. Simply put, a female character experiences abuse within the game to the point of it becoming a fetish. Therefore, sadism can be connected, if not is connected, to the word Ryona, as it follows the same enjoyment of watching female characters being abused. Ryona games have specific features that are extremely prominent to the genre. For example, features such as fatalities in fighting games, deaths from survival horror games, and assaults on women depicted in H-anime are present in Ryona games. Moving on to the word Guro, it comes from a combination of two words, erotic grotesque. Guro and grotesque, and ero from erotic, and you get Guro. Now, it shouldn't be difficult to understand the term Guro, as it literally means erotic grotesque. However, if you want a more complicated description of the term, then it comes from the word ero goro nonsensu, or erotic grotesque nonsense. This is the Japanese phrase that captures a movement of a particular art style, which includes deformities and disfigurement. Such depictions can be found appealing and sexualized. A popular example that comes from the ero goro nonsensu is eyeball licking. It makes sense that the word nonsense is included in the Japanese phrase, and it is truly something that comes from nonsense. If it isn't clear, Ryona/Guro games can be a complex that people have. There is no surprise that such a genre can spark a controversy, as some people like the horror game aspect of it. However, some can't ignore the fetish side of what goes into the Ryona/Guro games, even more so when the character is not of legal age. And this is where we are going to dive into Window Frame's Ryona/Guro games that feature lollies. If you don't know what a lolly is, then it is basically another word for child or childlike, and it is commonly used in the anime world. In the first two games, Dymnophobia and Xenophobia lets you play as a lolly, and considering the type of content that is in Ryona/Guro games, it is definitely disturbing to see how many awful things are forced onto a helpless child. Of course, this is the work of fiction, and some people may not have a problem with having such a character in a ruthless game. However, it doesn't mean that it should not be questioned. It is no surprise that in Japan, the Ryona/Guro genre is accepted. In fact, there is a following in this type of genre. Demonophobia is seen as a classic and the grandfather of the genre. You can say that Window Frame made the genre popular, as many people played his games during the late 2000s and were pulled into his strange horror survival game. One thing that Window Frame is good at is creating a scary environment and atmosphere, which gives a feeling of uneasiness. Window Frame's ability to create a unique and frightening world is astonishing, as it truly makes you feel unsettled, even more so when monsters, death traps, and gruesome death scenes are present within the game. It will be interesting to see how Window Frame will take his experience in the genre into the 3D realm, as his previous two games were created in 2D. Dysthanasia is a 3D horror game that will likely be similar, if not worse in terms of brutality, of that in Demonophobia and Xenophobia. Once again, Dysthanasia will feature a lolly as a protagonist, and we get to see a glimpse of some of the monsters that haunts this world of Dysthanasia. I wonder what type of horrors will await this female character. Hold up. Alright, this is very important. Alright, I was finding some footage, right? And yeah, it's really bad. Okay, the death scenes. How to put it? Right, so the character does experience some gruesome death scenes, right? Like, for example, she gets split in half as that thing like happens, you know? Well, let's just say that her clothes just gets torn also, and it shows a bit of something that is not really great. And not gonna lie, that changes everything, because you could have just like easily not included that part, but I guess since it's there, it makes it even worse. It is much worse. I didn't know that till like right now. This is me editing the video. So yeah, that's a important information to put out there, so be wary of that. Hello everyone, you have made it to the end of the video. You might be wondering if that's it in regards to Dysthanasia. Well, the game is at the demo stage and not a lot of information is known about it. Unless someone got more information about the game, I would imagine Japanese people or those who can read Japanese can gain more information, as Window Frame might post things that surrounds the game. With that said, thanks for sticking to the end of the video. If you have any other suggestions on what I should cover next, then leave a comment down below. I appreciate the love and support, and see you guys on the next video. Spread the love.